Very interesting. Oh, clever. Are they news anchors? Oh, wow. He intentionally, because I wondered if he see that? I thought that was meant to be a step on that, but he... All right, so first off, I do like how the wardrobe, they all have essentially like the same color scheme of black and white, or it's a variety of it, so nothing feels too out of place. There's no one thing, like see like how this room, like it's kind of like brown, but we get this kind of warmer orange. It's kind of calling attention to it. If anything, the backdrop kind of helps pop them out a little bit more, because these guys are just neutral colors black and white, and then behind it is very loud like colors of everything. So it can, I think it works in contrasting each other. Again, the risk usually is how loud does this get, how much patterns are happening throughout the whole video. And the same thing with the wardrobe. He has this checkered pattern. There's a tiger or zebra print pattern we got going on. So like the thing with that is like there's one solid like color, like one solid, like just all that, and then we got one that's like that. And even these simple like changes, you can see like which one. This is definitely calls a little bit more attention because it's not just the one. There's a lot of like repetition on their prints, which I think in my mind brings more attention to you. And same thing here. There's a lot of stuff happening here, brings attention to that. But again, the intention of like, at least the way I'm interpreting it is like the contrast of very bright colors and then very neutral colors with the black and white. Right, black and white and neutral colors, right? Am I failing art school? So this is they went on the route of starting off with something strong to catch your attention. Like within the first second of the song, they already do a dynamic and just introduce the whole group right off the bat. And this is a nice like dynamic or illusion. They do a surprise of bam, everyone else, and then everyone kind of has a pose and everyone kind of has a bobblehead kind of look. It's kind of, which kind of sets the tone of something a little silly, like that matches the song. Another great dynamic here, the great use of the floor, or going from center to stage left. Nice dynamic of an elevator effect. I'm not too sure what this means, but we got like a low, mid, and standing level here. And we got whatever's happening in the back. And he's kind of like, it kind of looks like he's presenting something here. It's almost like, and over here, we have these guys. Oh yeah, I just wanted to like point out, like shouts out to anyone who's working in production. So it's crazy because when these guys are on stage, you'll notice it the first time. Most of the time, you just forget about them and you're just doing it. In here, it feels distracting, but when you're performing, they don't even exist. I like this dynamic happening right here. Is it a simple like, I'm almost gonna say a trick, because it's just a simple jump over and you're not exactly jumping over anyone, but it's a nice, at least for this low, like they're like for below eye level here, it makes the jump look bigger. Whereas here, look at the difference. It's more like meh, kind of, because the camera's like right here looking up and we're almost like eye level here. But I like this because it's a nice like weaving, still it's a nice weaving formation change. So where they're doing this, and those are always fun when it comes to formation changes. It's one of the most simple formation changes, and this was a clever way of just making it a little bit more dynamic with a pseudo kind of trick. Ooh, look at that footwork, man. Oh wow, he intentionally, because I wondered if he see that? I thought that was meant to be a step on that, but he kicked it out to boom, to kind of give him that off balance move to force him to pivot to his left. Yeah. Very interesting. Oh, clever. Are they news anchors? Like the way he's presenting is like, I'm imagining like, here's the weather. I'm imagining this to be like where he's reporting the news. And it's like, here comes bad news. That's clever. This is great because then they're able to communicate that just through choreography. So this sequence right here. da 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 da, like this kind of like Millie Rock kind of move, and then here it's like, I think what's making it feel kind of this current generation is kind of, it has a similar like kind of a movement patterns, but there's a certain stiffness that they have to that makes it clean. So instead of like a little bit of a groove into it, they're like roll and go, elbow, elbow, elbow. Yeah, this is definitely something I would need to explore in the studio. I don't know if I have time to do it at all this week. 5, 6, 7, 8. See that, like it kind of like they're driving kind of gear shifting moves. Like this one just feels bigger bounces rather than the grooves. Technically you're still kind of grooving, but just like this upper core section right here in their body, right here, feels like not stiff in a bad way, but it's like meant for it to match the vibe of the choreography. Otherwise, if they went like too much swag into it, it might not fit the vibe of the song. Because I could see this move, like, but this definitely has more groove into it. Like, love that. Look, oh yeah, here we go. First off, love this example of them dancing into the formations right here. So this is a 2-3-2. We got 2, 3 in the middle and 2 in the back, but they've blocked it nicely so everyone can be seen. A typical 2-3-2 is this, and then the back is covered. Their 2-3-2 is a little bit more. They're a little bit more out. So in order to showcase it, to show everyone. But then another great example of them just simple drop, give him a moment, nice little level change. Even though it's just a head down, it does a lot to build this anticipation and contrast, because there's no, like right now, there's nothing really going on with their limbs, and big movements as they do a simple bounce to this other 2-3-2, and they have a moment to pause, be in character. And then another simple, like slides are fantastic for getting into your formations, man. 6, 7, 8, 5. Lines are generally risky. Like I call them like a high risk, high reward type of formation, because one, everyone gets to be seen. Everyone's equally able to show off their dance capability. Where the risk is if someone's off in terms of levels, in terms of energy, in terms of execution and cleanliness. What's great about this is like this move is big and fun. Like look at this frame check right here, hella clean. So biggest important thing here is that you hit your shapes, hit your silhouettes. This is nice. Like the first thing I see is their elbows are clean. The legs are a little different, but most of my attention is most of my attention anyways is going to be up here. So, but even then, it's like for the most part, you want for the most part to be clean, because there's no such thing as 100% perfection, but you want like 90%, and this is like, I'd say 90%. And it's just repeated moves, and it's not overly complicated. Like I imagine if this sequence was 1 iana, 2 iana, and you're like doing all these simple, like small intricate movements, it's definitely going to get messy. But this is big, fun movements. That's honestly really fun to watch. So, and going back to this. So this is, again, we got a very, very loud background, but it's working because they are not wearing colors themselves. Simple black and white. And because of that, the colors behind them are popping them out. 5, 6. Love this trowel. Look at this lunge right here. Bam! Play basketball with that lateral movement. Simple curtain reveal with 2 people. I know you see everyone setting this up, but the fact is like they're commanding the most attention because bigger movement, and obviously the hierarchy in terms of like who's in front and back. Oh yeah, definitely like that. This move, I think is a lock in, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong. Anyone who practices light feet, you generally do that at the end of the 8 count, like as in like 5, 6, 7, and 8, kind of like the lock it in. I don't know light feet, but this is just like the little tidbits I learned from my friends who actually do it.
Every light feet move has an ending, which is called a lock-in. sentence. The lock-in is the equivalent to basically writing out a sentence and putting a period.
Light feet and whatnot is another street styles that I think is pretty cool. It's one of those things that I see that I like to acknowledge, like when I see some breaking moves or some locking or some popping, like I'd like to like highlight it. Yeah, great curtain reveal for him. Super strong solo here and great asymmetry, but typically the asymmetry I call is like stage left versus stage right, and we have a big versus small. This is kind of same here, but it's upstage and downstage, almost like a cipher in my opinion. I like how they creeped up to the front because it looks like they're like in almost center. So, boom, and then they move up. They're really downstage now. Look how close they are. That would be a lot of fun just to be where the audience is. See, look at that. Like perfect character moment. Smile. And look at the difference in the head tilt. Like a small thing can go a long way. Look at his head tilt. He's kind of like away kind of thing. And this one's kind of like almost feels intense. Like it gives like a different intention and mood and energy. Again, like the whole the power body language too. Yeah, I think that everything about this, I'm just loving like the big shifting side to side movements. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, side, 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 side. You have that big moment of like side with big shapes, big silhouettes, and then they go into like this moment of like slowing it down, making it something a little bit more precise with strong lines. But yeah, that's it, to be honest, in terms of the choreography. Yeah, so these guys are super sharp, precise dancers. I wouldn't expect any less from any guy group. Strong lines, strong execution, fun upbeat song, great transitions into formations, and that's it. Let's hop on to the next one.